Right, how's it going, folks? It's Descattys. This is the first day of my winter 48-hour wilderness survival challenge out with Joe O'Leary on his course. He's just checked my location out because we're expecting quite heavy rains and fucking gale force winds of all things. So I've got my little spot now where I'm going to start building my shelter. And I probably won't be doing a lot of videoing, folks, on this one. I'll just be snipping in and out and doing little bits and pieces, so don't expect a lot. Because I just really want to crack on with the actual ambience of the weekend rather than, you know, sort of doing videos. But I'll sort of do the best I can. All right, so I'll catch up with you in a little while, folks. Take care. Look at that, folks, fire. You ain't gonna know how fucking chuffed I was to get that going. It took me 3 times to get that fire going, and you know, I'm quite wet at the moment. I'm not cold, so obviously the fire's going now, but it's taken a lot of hard graft to get this shelter up, and it's still not completely finished. I've got to do a bit on the end, but today's more of the survival bit, and then tomorrow's the kind of bushcraft, making it even more comfortable. So you know, if nothing else, at least I've got that bugger going. I'll keep that blazing all night. I mean, it's quite windy here at the moment. We've had a lot of rain this morning, and but I had a tiny little ebb of lowness earlier on when I went to collect a few spruce boughs from the bed, and there was just an ever so slight sort of like, you know, I'm a bit fucking cold and wet and everything else, and then I just sprung out of it, just come out of it, and I was happy as Larry. So I'm sort of I'm enjoying a cigarette. Can't use a lighter, so I've got to light off the bleeding fire, and so this is my first, well, sort of like my first decent fag stay really. So anyway, that's regardless of that. So I'll catch up with you in a little while, folks. Alright, see you later. Oh. Well, tonight's dinner, nice trout. I've gutted that, and then I'll be sticking that on the fire in a little while with some rice, which I'm going to look forward to. First meal of the day. Alright, folks, how's it going? Day one's nearly over. This is probably one of the most crucial times where I've in my life where I've I was so overwhelmed when I got my fire going. It was very wet, and it's amazing really, you know, when we go out just for the, you know, when you go out for weekends away or trips away and everything else, and all the paraphernalia and bits and pieces you use to light your fires. It was just brilliant doing it today with just a little bit of birch bark and some hazel shavings and stuff like that. And really sort of took me 3 times to light it. Everything was so wet, but as you can see, the fire's going now. I've just got a bit of corn on the cob on the go there at the minute, and I'm just settling down now before it gets dark. It's about 5 o'clock-ish or something now, and the winds seem to have buggered off now. It was really sort of gale force winds earlier on today, but as I say, it's buggered off now, and the rain's sort of petering in and out every now and again. The shelter's quite waterproof, and I'm just going to enjoy the evening, or the first day of the ambience of of the challenge. Alright, so I'll catch up with you tomorrow, folks. See you later. Morning, folks. Day 2. Had a reasonably comfortable night's sleep. The only thing was that it's just broken up really with actually just sort of putting wood on the fire. What amazed me was the amount of wood that it takes to keep the fire going through the night. I was wrapped up in the blanket. You know, the fire was giving off quite a bit of heat. But then obviously I was dozing off, and then once the fire starts dwindling down, then that's kind of when I was waking up. So I was kind of getting sort of around sort of an hour and a half, 2 hours kip, and then I was getting up, putting wood on, and then heading back off to sleep again. So it weren't too bad really. Once in the night my feet got quite cold, so I sort of just took my boots off and warmed my feet up by the fire. I've got some pine needle tea I'm just about to do now. So I'll let that seep for a couple of minutes, and I'll get a nice warming drink, and then sort a few tasks out today. Sort a few bits out. We've got to make a deadfall trap and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just amazed the amount of wood that it took. I'm gonna have to. That'll be one of my priorities again now for tonight. I'm gonna have to just get a shed load of wood and stack it up, and then just feed it into the fire through the night just to keep me going. So there it is. I'm in good spirits. Yeah, I'm quite warm now actually. Now the fire's going back up again. And that's about it for now, folks. So I'll catch up with you in a little while. I'm going to enjoy my cup of pine needle tea. So I'll catch up with you later, folks, and take care. What I'm doing now is I'm going over to the water point where we go and collect our water from. So I'll show you where I'll get my water from, where our water source is. And it's basically just a little well really, a makeshift well. So obviously I'm having to collect the water and then run it through the millbank bag and then boil it up, and it's been alright really. So yeah, there it is. So we'll thimble back to camp now, and I'll have to run it through the old millbank bag, take the sediment out of it. Not too bad this morning, a bit chilly. I suppose it would be. You know, I've got lack of calories in my body. But getting on with it. There's another shelter there. See the smoke billowing away from my shelter. As I say, I've had to keep the fire going all night. One, as a heat source for me, and two, because I didn't want to struggle this morning trying to get the fire going again, because it's still really damp and a lot of wet wood. So it's just made my job quite a lot easier, keeping it going. And I don't feel too bad really, considering the amount of the broken sleep I've had. Right. So I'll get the millbank on the go. I'll catch up with you in a little while, folks. So what I've done is I've made a slight improvement on the front there. I've just put a little porch area in, and as it goes, the fire is kind of channeling in here now, channeling into the shelter area. So it's not too bad actually. Taking it easy today. I think the sort of lack of calories are having a little bit of a play on me. But still getting stuff done, you know what I mean? Just got to slow down, you know, just take the time and take it easy, really. Weather's better today. The sun's out every now and again. Slightly blue skies, better than it was yesterday anyway. At the moment. So, yeah, that's it for now, folks. How you doing, folks? It's moi, halfway through the second day now, and this is my dinner for tonight. So I've got pheasant, and in there, in the billy can, is a load of potato, onion, carrots. I've got a gravy mix to put in there, and some flour to thicken it up. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of slowly darkening the meat, smoking the meat up on the pheasant, and then what I'll do, once that's got a nice flavour to it, I'll then stick that in the pot. So I'm really looking forward to that, because it gets some neutrinos in my body. So there it is, folks. Alright. There we go. Well, this is my last day, folks. I've got my carrots, onions and pheasant and all the rest of it in there. And it's been raining on and off the last sort of about an hour or so, but no worries. I'm gonna settle down, have my dinner, much needed dinner actually, and then I'm just gonna settle down and enjoy the evening before we pack up tomorrow. Alright, so I'll catch up with you again in the morning. See you later. Right, folks, so there it is. I've survived the 48-hour winter challenge. I didn't want to give too much away, just in case people want to go on it themselves. I think it's run in February, and what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description if you want to take a look at it, take a look at the course, and then obviously make up your own mind. So I'd definitely say it's a good course. I wouldn't say it's for complete beginners. I think you want to be at a sort of like an intermediate level. You know, to better rather than a beginner, because it is a little bit of a challenge if you haven't done it this sort of thing before. Alright, so as I say, I haven't given too much information away, and there it is. Alright, folks, so I hope you liked it. I've not, you know, I've just put snippets of information on, snippets of video together, and then you know, make up your own decisions, I suppose. Alright, so thanks for watching. That's Descattys signing out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment and all the rest of it. And thanks for watching, and take care. All the best.